Excelsior, true believers. Hello, how's everybody been? I know this is what you call, wow, haven't seen him in a minute. Well, some of you might know, I had a heart attack, and but everything's okay. I'm all right. Just older and slower, and trying to get back into it. But today I'm going to do something different, well, for the second time, because of the original video that I did a couple of weeks ago, I forgot to turn the friggin' microphone on. So I had a video, but no audio. So I'm just going to do a rerun, basically, and try this new setup. Because I got a whole bunch of stuff to show. Maybe it's all down over here. Bunch of comic books. So I got this little setup in the kitchen, and I got these things, all these, and I had opened one box of each just to get an idea and a taste of what's going on, you know, what kind to expect and stuff, the type of cards. So I'm just going to do a quick recap, and then I'm going to start doing opening up the boxes and then show. These are pieces of the past, autograph, 2025 pieces, a keepsake collection, which is really interesting, and pieces of the past. But I think that light's a little too bright. But the first things I started off with were a word from the president. And these were very interesting. Very, very interesting. Let me turn this on over here. That doesn't help at all. But this is a word from the president. And I think these are very, very interesting. I mean, you take a chance, you know, who you're going to get, who you're not going to get. And the first one I got was Miller Fillmore. What makes me laugh here is if you look at how this is all spelled out here, it looks like my last name, Dolan. There's Miller Fillmore. I don't know what your mother was thinking when she named you that. And the other two are from the same president. I got a cold. I'm sorry. Franklin Pierce. That's the word stand. It's in his handwriting. Which is just interesting as hell. I don't know how much they're worth. I mean, for what I paid for, or what what they might be selling for, because I don't want to look. And the other one is Franklin Pierce, and that word is but. And to show the cards, yeah, this is terrible. Oh, here we go. I should have did that to begin with. Nikola Tesla. These cards are beautiful. They come with a thin film on it to protect the card because they're mirrored. Yeah. So, and I really have no idea what the hell I'm doing. But Nikola Tesla, Vinnie Van Gogh. Another Van Gogh. Frederick Bartholdi, artist. Another Bartholdi. Marie Curie, buried in a lead coffin. Benjamin Harrison, President of the United States. William McKinley, who was assassinated, but he was shot not too far from where I live. It's marked with a marker in that spot. Hey, Bill. And this is Nat Love. He was He was a cowboy, black guy. And he was also called himself Dead-Eye Dick. Was it Dead-Eye Dick? Yeah, Dead-Eye Dick. But a number of people called themselves that. He did rodeo. And we got William Clark from the William and Clark Expedition. And his partner, Meriwether Lewis. And the last one is Sacagawea. The relics that came out of it are all over the place. This one is a newspaper relic. It's printed in French, and this is Antonio Stradivari, the inventor of the Gibson guitar. Now, famous for his violins, of course. Frida Kahlo, Mexican artist, had a very painful life. Vinnie Van Gogh and Pablo Picasso. What gets me is Pablo Picasso was Spanish, and Vincent Van Gogh was Dutch. But he did spend a lot of time in France. But all the newspaper articles, or where they come from, books, they're all in French. Here's an interesting one. Andy Warhol and Salvador Dali. A triple. Vincent Van Gogh, Claude Monet, and Pablo Picasso. It's all French, which would fit Monet and Van Gogh, but not so much Pablo Picasso. Here's a big one, big relic from Johann Sebastian Bach. And if it isn't broken, don't take it back. In French. Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. French again. Claude Monet. Now, this is from a book, but it refers to the Civil War. Fort Pickens, 1861, Colonel Brown, Navy. But it's obviously from a documentary or a newspaper from his time frame. Tchaikovsky. He was assassinated in Mexico, I believe. I think it was. No, that was Trotsky. Tchaikovsky, composer. We have Joseph Haydn, composer. We have Johann Brahms. Master artist Raphael. Renoir, Pierre-Auguste Renoir, master painter. Marc Chagall, French impressionist. You want to hear my French impression? Oui, oui, Monzer. And another Van Gogh. This was a Cafe Terrace at Night. Vincent Van Gogh. He did spend a lot of time in France. Leonardo da Vinci's The Last Supper. And another Last Supper. And one of my favorite paintings of all time, American Gothic. And another Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. Play for me, Salieri. And interesting cards, or what they call the pop art. Which kind of reminds me of Andy Warhol's style of his pop art. You know, this is Paul Gauguin and Pablo Picasso. These cards are very interesting. I mean, so far for the ones that I've already opened up. But, and I still got a lot of boxes to open. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I have 16 boxes to open. And more relics. These are a little bit more interesting. Excuse me, sorry. This is Thomas Jefferson. And what's interesting about this card is that it looks like a recipe. Did I change them? Yeah, I did. Looks like a recipe. It's Eli Whitney, inventor of the cotton gin. I believe that is a book relic. This is Charles Darwin. This looks like a sailing schedule for ships. Andrew Jackson, Old Hickory. This looks like what may be a story about the railroads, building railroads. I got to come up with a better way of doing this, because I don't think you guys are going to pay attention to anything I got to say. And this, this is Abigail Adams, John Adams' wife, the first lady to occupy the White House. And that is an obituary for someone whose last name was, was Raymond, Alabama, Edward Milton, age 21. And I do have one written one from the president. This is either in his handwriting or from a document or a letter, because it looks like a letter, because you can see the writing is going this way, and it's also going horizontal, which they would do if they ran out of space on a piece of paper. Martin Van Buren from Kinderhook in New York. And a real interesting one, this is a piece of uniform, a piece of material from William Tecumseh Sherman. And they also supply a photo of one of the ones that it came off of. So that's really interesting. Walt Whitman, and I forget what her name is. Her name is, oh, that's Harriet Beecher Stowe, Uncle Tom's Cabin. Walt Whitman. It's from a document or a book that was owned by Cornelius Vanderbilt. This is really interesting. I am so sorry. This is Ulysses S. Grant, whose real first name was Hiram. Simpson was his mother's maiden name, but the person that recommended him suggested U.S. Grant for Uncle Sam, and that was the nickname that he had for the rest of his life. They called him Sam. But what's interesting about this is a newspaper article about Grant's funeral, mentioning Mrs. Grant and members of Congress, heavily draped. You know, that must have been the catafalque This is in reference to President Grant's funeral. And Edgar Allan Poe. And, of course, this is either a newspaper or book, and it's in French. This, I'll save that. Save that. Here's another written relic from Johann Sebastian Bach, from some kind of document or letter. Another written relic from Sandro Botticelli, another master artist. And it appears to be a letter, but I don't know if it's in his handwriting, and I don't think so. I just think it's something from the period of the time when he lived. And the last one is Raphael, artist Raphael. The written relics are very interesting, but it would be nice if they put more information on the back of the card to tell you, was it written by him, or is it from a letter, or is it from just a document from the period? I don't know. But this is from the time of Hadrian, Roman Emperor, Hadrian's Wall and all that. And this is a piece of metal from a gladiator's armor. It's been polished, cleaned, but this is a piece, it's metal, and it's a piece of armor. That's cool as hell. And into the 2 sports packs that I got, it was this is number 67 of 99, Juju Watkins. She's a who did she play? Oh, UCLA, I think. But this is a gem relic. I don't know what that is, what kind of gem that is, but keepsake edition, Juju Watkins. And number 58 out of 99, Shaquille O'Neal from Newark, New Jersey. Part of Jersey. Really cool. And I think that's it. Did I do these already? Yes, I did. So I don't know how this is going to turn out, because I really suck at doing this. Doing cards and something I've never done before like this. But we'll see what happens with the rest of them. As always, collect what you like, love what you collect. Take care.